That's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
All right, so I'm here with the leader of the Navarro Cartel, one of the head lieutenants here.
Witness protection.
We can move into.
Yeah, now it's proper. this is better. How much weight a week you moving?
That's fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty good. That is how they do it. Imagine like for the people that are like doing the voice disguise because they're talking about all the legal activity they do like the pitch up.
Oh yeah.
They do like, let me see.
What? This fucking thing. Alright, it's dork.
Fucking
Never mind. Yeah, it's like, all right, joke ruined. Imagine if it was like high pitched, like, well, I was moving about 30 pounds a week.
It was crazy.
Which, by the way, have you seen? Do you know? I was just looking up fucking Pablo Escobar. You know how much weight he was, or how much money he was making at his height?
It was like $1 billion a day or something crazy, right?
I mean, that's an insane amount, but it was $500 million a week, which is just crazy. Yeah, $500 million a week is so fucking nuts, though. That's like I was looking it up. It's like almost $3 million an hour.
Yeah. There's still, so he used to bury his money because they had nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
And they're still finding it in Colombia now.
Wow. Huh. Yeah. There's probably people out there just fucking digging around.
I'd be digging.
Yeah. Just go around. He owned like a significant portion of the real estate in town, right?
He did. Yeah. There's still money there. And then there's the Colombian hippos.
Yeah.
I hear about that.
The Colombian hippos?
Yeah. So he imported all these animals because he could just buy it. Right?
Yeah.
And he brought hippos, which was not a species.
A native species.
And so now there's hippos everywhere in Colombia.
That's hilarious. All from Pablo?
All from Pablo.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
It's pretty cool. I was watching a whole thing about it one time. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
What about it is when you get enough money, you're like, I need some fucking sick animals here around.
Yeah, I would do it if I had that type of money. Like, oh, I want one of those. Like,
I don't know if I'd get a hippo. Hippos are pretty aggressive.
They're actually the most dangerous. I think they account for the most deaths in Africa.
Really?
Yeah, hippos.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
Have you seen those videos of them like chasing people?
I have in the past. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I also watched a documentary one time that they're related to whales from like,
wow.
I don't know.
I can see that. They're just big, thick, fucking running through water.
Evolution, I guess, of some capacity. But close relative, which is really friendly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is interesting. Huh? Yeah. Maybe they had to. This was like their aggressive cousin that got kicked out.
Don't mess with him. Don't mess with him. That's their other side of the family.
It's a coke addict cousin. It's like starting fights with everyone. He got kicked out of the ocean. Now it's like on sea and land.
Yeah. Brian's here.
Yeah. Yeah. They're so like insanely aggressive. I heard that tigers or lions or something, like some sort of, maybe it's even cheetahs, one of those like big cats, they'll eat hippo shit right before, if they're gonna like try to take over the leader, like take out the leader of the pack, because it's so fucking hooked with testosterone that it's like almost like mething up. Like they eat it and then get fucking crazy energy. I don't know if that's true, but that's
I don't know.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
it's really cool. But what possessed the first creature?
To eat it?
I have an idea. Let's eat its shit and then go attack it.
Well, my dog eats shit just for the fun of it, so maybe
That's
it was
true.
Yeah, like she'll eat like duck poop, which is annoying.
Yeah, but then again, there's probably a bunch of meth heads who probably had some similar ideas. Let's eat his shit and then rob the bank.
Maybe that didn't work out. Or there was like, have you heard of Terrence McKenna's like stoned ape theory?
Yeah.
Where they're like, it was like the reason for the doubling in size was at one point humans started flipping over shit and like eating mushrooms and stuff.
What's this?
Yeah, there's probably plenty of that, like in the early humans. Or people talk about like the first guy to like suck a cow's titty. They're like, like we could be drinking that. Why?
some weirdo led to evolution, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You need them.
Just exploring it. Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, that is an interesting theory.
The stoned ape theory. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
His stuff is pretty fascinating. Have you ever listened to all his books? And
I like Terrence McKenna a lot. I don't know if I've heard all of what he has to say, but he's a super interesting guy.
Yeah. I was listening to his documentary like a couple of weeks back, actually. And it was not a documentary. It was like he did a lecture at a school. When he taught.
A lot of those videos are that.
And it was really cool. Just hearing some of the things he was talking about. the class was just filled, which was kind of interesting to see too.
Yeah, right. I wonder how he originally developed his following. You just get high on mushrooms and be like, "This is what happened, guys.
Come on over, guys." Yeah, he was telling us what was crazy with the stories, like, and he has an interesting voice too. So
he does have a very
like. I don't even know how to do it, but it's very interesting. It's probably like, a button that does that.
He's like the peculiar thing about nature.
That's exactly how he does. He's like, so I took LSD and I took mushroom. He's like mixed 4 things and like went to town. He's like, DMT. That's what it was.
Wow.
He did DMT and LSD on one weekend where he thought everyone was out. I mean, I highly recommend listening to it. It's funny as hell, him telling the story.
Wow.
But then he's like tripping balls and he's seen all these things and he's like, someone knocks on his door and he's like, my heart exploded out of my chest. I saw it in front of my eye. Like he just panicked.
Wow. Yeah.
I was like, well, what would possess you to do that much mixed?
I don't know. He was just trying to go deep, I guess.
I mean, do you come back from that? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it is interesting. He's almost like just like a fucking druggie that's extremely smart or something.
Yeah. What do they call them? There's a term like for people who do the mushrooms, all the psychedelics. It's like psychonauts or something. Like instead of astronaut, it's like psychonaut.
Okay.
Or something
like instead of being like a meth head, you're like a fucking LSD head or something
like that. But you're like you're very smart, though, right? He's kind of an interesting.
I mean, he's definitely maybe more of that. There is a clear difference. That's one of the problems with like just the name drugs and people being like adverse to drugs in general, because there's like caffeine is a drug, sugar is a drug, and then cocaine, heroin is a drug, but there's also mushrooms and LSD that are drugs. And there's like a massive difference, and alcohol is a drug.
Yeah.
But there is a massive difference between getting drunk and taking mushrooms. Like getting drunk like depresses your senses and numbs you and sort of like narrows your scope of the world. And taking mushrooms does the exact opposite. It makes you more acute to your surroundings. It makes you more like aware of what's going on. You think at like another level. You've got your like thoughts in fucking 6th gear. So there's a completely different response to it than most like drugs.
Yeah,
most of the bad drugs.
Yeah, and a lot of famous philosophers, artists, and a lot of enigmatic people of modern time have all been. A lot of them had equate to some sort of psychedelic experience.
Sure.
They talk about it at least in some capacity, which is kind of fascinating.
Yeah. Well, most of human history like has been like experimenting with consciousness in one way or another.
Yeah. It's very true.
Yeah. I mean, even alcohol like has its uses. Like it is fun for sure, but there's just such a difference between like getting drunk and like taking a psychedelic.
Yeah, I was reading a book one time. I can't remember the name of it, but mead, which is the oldest liquor, not necessarily wine.
It's like honey wine, right? Yeah.
And but how it was made, it had some sort of almost like a fungus or something.
I think it was ergot, which is like one of the main compounds of LSD,
and that had psychedelic effects. And they were saying that's part of like the Vikings, for example. They were drinking that plus they're pounding mushrooms.
Yeah.
Then they were going into battle. And that's, partly their berserker rage. Who knows what the hell they were seeing.
Exactly.
So it's an interesting.
They say concept. That might be like one of like the reasons for the origin of a lot of their religions. Like some of the Norse philosophy is really interesting. I've just been like researching that recently.
Really?
Yeah, because like the Vikings believed in like the highest. There was like 6 different potential afterlives.
Yeah, different realms, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like the best one you could go to is Valhalla. Like everyone wanted to be in Valhalla, but the only way to get there is to die honorably in battle. And so they felt that was the best afterlife that you could be in. If you died of old age, you were considered a pussy because you never you never went after it. So I thought that was really interesting. Like Valhalla, and like the whole thing is like it's some other god's basically like realm or like hallway or something where the greatest warriors go after death in preparation for this like second coming where they're going to go to battle.
Yeah, Ragnarok, right?
Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
The Norse religion is fascinating.
Yeah, it is interesting.
A lot of the ancient religions are very fascinating.
Yeah, like Greek mythology, it kind of has maybe some overlaps.
Yeah, a lot of it, but they also had their oracles who also had psychedelics tripping out. They used to go to the volcano. I can't remember the name of the volcano. There's or cave. It was near a volcano, and it was the Greeks that did it. It's eluding me at the moment, but they would go see these oracles that could see things. But what they found where this chamber was, it emitted this gas, and this gas had psychedelic that would make you have psychedelic experiences.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. So maybe the oracles are tripping all the time.
Oracles of Adelphi, I think they're called. Yeah.
Is that like kind of like where in like 300 the Spartans went to?
Kind of,
see those crazy ladies?
That's kind of,
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So maybe they're like just tripping nonstop, and then you come in, have like this sort of light trip, and then here's these people that are like engulfed in it, giving you this crazy advice, and you're like, fucking mind's blown.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right?
I guess we'll like throw the weak ones off the cliff.
That's a great idea. I don't know. It's a crazy thing. But you go back to what you said. It's all drugs should be classified a little differently.
Yeah,
so,
it is interesting. It is crazy. I don't know. It's crazy that in 2025, I guess we're like really making a lot of progress. We're like,
if you think about it, from like the early 1900s to now, it's not really a difference, which is interesting too, because back then, like the late 1800s, early 1900s, they were prescribing like cocaine and heroines. Like, hey, you got a cough, here you go.
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're pregnant and have a headache? Here, you should smoke some cigarettes.
There you go. You're good to go.
Yeah.
So it is fascinating. I was reading recently the article about the dire wolves. Have you seen that? That's pretty cool.
What is that?
So this company called Colossal Labs, I think they're called.
Okay.
They, using genetics, DNA from like a dire wolf, and they're working on a mastodon or a woolly mammoth.
Okay.
And a couple other animals, basically using CRISPR technology and AI and quantum computing, just piecemeal everything together. And they just brought back a dire wolf. Not a complete clone per se.
What is a dire wolf?
It's a wolf that's been extinct for like, I don't know, I think it's like 7,000 or 10,000 years or something like that. It's it's pretty crazy. Huh. And they're working to do it.
What's the difference of it? Is it like way bigger or something?
It's bigger, I think, by like, it's like 40 pounds more or something like that. It's pretty gnarly.
Maybe like 2x or something, just a huge fucking wolf.
Yeah. yeah, right. Everybody thinks of it from like Game of Thrones, if you've ever seen that. The Snowdens or the Snowden, that's the NSA guy, right?
Yeah. It's like basically like gain of function research on deadly animals. They're just
something like that.
How can we make like these really worse for us?
So I guess there's some benefit from the ecosystem, and that's what their company's saying. So that they're trying to bring back animals. It's a really cool process, actually. They were actually on Rogan, the CEO, talking about it, but he's also talking about like, fast forward, like we were talking about where things are, 50 years, 100 years from now, when you have all that technology getting more and more perfected and fast, like. It's going to be kind of crazy. Yeah.
Are they going to bring back like T-Rexes or something?
I mean, you could definitely do that. But
maybe just a mini one?
Oh, that'd be kind of sick. I could see that little,
Something you could like kill if you need
to. Oh, shit.
God damn.
The devil came out of it. Something for you to kill it.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
You needed to kill it.
You gotta leave that. That's great.
Crazy.
That's perfect.
What timing? Yeah, wow. We're gonna need a fucking contact roadcaster. We had some technical issues here.
Our machine just got possessed for a brief moment in time. Dude, that was hilarious.
That is crazy. What timing that is. That is pretty good.
That's crazy. You ever do I don't know why this. You ever do a Ouija board?
I've never done it. No.
Yeah. Do you know anybody's ever done it?
I know people have done it, but I've not done it.
I've never done it either. You should do one day on your podcast.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens.
The only thing is, I don't know if like, I'm not sure I totally believe in it, but I'm also not totally not believing in it.
You don't want to find out. You're like, oh, fuck.
I don't want to like invite a demon into the house. and then like, all right, now the pod room's possessed. Now that happens anytime you make like a killer joke. It's like,
that should be the new thing. Yeah. Like anytime it's
yeah, we have like Taylor being Jamie in here. She's the one fucking dropping the buttons. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Damning. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be kind of funny. But that's true. There is that like, oh, it's nothing. You're like, oh shit, I was wrong. There is now. I got whatever in here.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No. No, not really. No.
Yeah.
I think. Do I think there's something possibly? Yeah, with like, I have many like ideas about it. Like maybe with like frequencies and like energy doesn't go anywhere. So I can see all like different reasons as to why. But the main reason why I don't is if I go to, we're going to go to this haunted house. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I already know that this house is haunted. You already subconsciously planted that seed in my head.
Yeah.
So I think automatically you start thinking, even if you say you're not, you're thinking about things. And so your mind's going to start searching for things, right? So like if you think, there's an experiment, but like if you go, like think blue car, next thing you know, you're going to start seeing blue cars everywhere.
Yeah. It's like when you get a car and you notice that car everywhere.
Everyone's driving them right now. Or there's a car that you're looking and you really want to buy.
And you start seeing it everywhere.
Right?
Yeah.
So I kind of equate it to some concept like that. But like if I go into a spooky haunt, this house is run down, there's no lights, and you're telling me, there's ghosts and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I think I might start seeing shit because it's already kind of supplanted, right?
Yeah.
So that's my main reason. I think if I walked into a place and no one told me a single thing about this, and I start seeing some eerie shit or hearing things, then I might be like, okay. And then you finally tell me like, okay. I might be more inclined to believe.
Yeah.
Not to say I completely don't believe. I've been to some haunted places before.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're eerie, but again, part of it because it's like you kind of set that precedent, so to speak.
Yeah, you're kind of going into it thinking like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah. But I do think that there's some realm of truth to it, and I do think that people might have seen things. How about yourself? What do you think?
I'm not totally convinced either way. I think I've heard some crazy stories of friends that have had like really interesting experiences. Like Brent from our gym, he just came on the pod last time. Actually, he like if you listen to that one, like towards the end, we started talking about like he grew up in a house that. Yeah, I mean, he believes there's like a demon or something in it. Yeah.
I'll let him bring it to the machine. It traveled with him.
Yeah, and it's in the machine now. Fuck. Yeah, and so like, I mean, Brent's a very like even type of guy. Like he's not the type of person that I would say like, is a woo-woo ghost story type of person. Right. And some of the stories he told are like pretty fucking nuts. Like,
really?
Yeah, like I'm not sure. I mean, if those things were to happen to me, I would be probably convinced.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I don't definitely. I mean, I'm not whipping out the Ouija board, but I'm not,
right.
I'm also not being like,
not taking that.
There's
bet.
an energy in the house, you know, something like that. So
I'm not going to discount it because I think it's wrong to kind of discount what you saw and what you felt and emotional experience and what you may whoever it may be experienced. So it's like, okay, I do think it's far fetched, but I wasn't there, I wasn't you, so it's hard,
I do think there's likely things that we're not receptive to.
I agree.
Yeah, I always think of it like we have these five senses. Like say for instance, we never had the sense of smell. Assuming everything else was exactly the same. You tasted the same, you felt the same, you like saw the same, you heard the same, but you didn't have a sense of smell. Most of human experience would be pretty close. Obviously we wouldn't experience the smells, but like, I mean, we would talk to each other, we would hear each other, we'd feel each other, like we'd taste amazing food. Like everything is pretty close to the same. So like if your dog shit in the house, maybe you'd be like, fuck, that sucks. It's like gooey and annoying, but you throw it away. But you would have no clue that you're literally wafting in this like fucking gross, disgusting scent that's like all around you. You just have no clue because you would never have the scent for it, the sense for it. There could be something similar where we're literally wafting in it right now, but we just don't have the acuity for it.
Yeah, just haven't picked up that radio station, sort of.
Exactly. Yeah, we're on fucking 97.3, but on 101.4, there's some crazy shit happening.
Listen up here, folks. Yeah, no, it's very true. I mean, I could see that for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's what have you ever heard the whole third eye, the pineal gland and all that stuff? They say that was another, but so it's very possible.
Yeah.
That goes same thing with like people who say like, I was abducted by alien. Like, I don't know.
That seems like that one. I gotta like say that I'd probably take me experiencing it to like really believe that.
Yeah. Well, would you rather experience getting abducted by an alien or having a poltergeist moment?
What's a poltergeist?
Or like a ghost, just you're in here next, cameras flickering, hearing voice.
I mean, it depends. Are the aliens using the anal probes or no anal probes?
You don't know. They're just abducted. You don't know what's going on.
Take the risk.
It's one or the other. Where's the cue to laugh?
I mean, the ghost would probably. I mean, I think most. Even what was it? The Blair Witch Project. Did those people die at the end? Maybe they did. Did they?
I think so.
I think they died at that. Yeah. Okay. I was going to say most ghost stories, it's like a bunch of scares and then nothing happens. So
yeah.
The anal probe would, I wouldn't want to get my butthole violated, so maybe I would lean to ghost because of that. But I would be interested if it was real.
Unless it was a ghost that died from, he was a serial anal prober, then you're fucked.
That's the only one that comes and invades other.
You got an anal probing ghost. It's one or the other.
It's like the human equivalent of like voyeurs who like go in and like see come on, we gotta lock those guys up.
Yeah.
That's like the aliens. Like, it keeps going to other planets.
It's going and
fucking
probing
sticking
everybody
things in their butt.
Oh man, who's watching that guy?
I mean, if it was the case that like they were just gonna tour me on the spaceship, that'd be sick. I'd love to do that.
We flew millions of miles a year. We just want to tour you around. Check it out, my new pad. Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens?
I do. I'm more inclined to believe in aliens than ghost.
Yeah. I would say the same. Yeah, I would say like I don't know why, but I feel like it's more likely.
I don't know. I don't know why. I never really put much thought into it, but I like to say that there's more evidence of like I don't know, aliens or just ancient cultures, civilizations, a lot more things we don't know in this physical evidence. Whereas when it comes to like a ghost experience or whatever, it's not real physical evidence that I've ever seen. There's like, oh, look at these. There's pictures I know people take and stuff like that, but they're like little blurry like orbs and stuff. Like, I don't know what the hell that is,
Yeah.
But you find like this, who built this pyramid or whatever, things like that, or
that's interesting. Like those are that. I mean, the aliens make the most sense to me for like how the pyramids were built,
or just even some of the ancient religions and ancient cultures. Like I think it's the Hopi tribe out here. They have an interesting legend, something where the ant people came out. It like brought them out from under the underground or something like that after a major catastrophe. And I'm probably butchering it, but it's a fascinating thing. But the drawings and some of the things look like what people would consider modern day aliens and things like that. So
interesting.
That's kind of cool because I'm like, oh, there's some little bit more proof.
Yeah, why was that story passed down?
Right. And I always find like these stories, and this is around many cultures, and I don't know all of them, obviously. Yeah. But to see all that like through modern time, like, and granted, there are stories of ghosts throughout modern time too, right? But I think there's no physical evidence per se.
Yeah.
And not there's physical evidence of aliens. Well, not that we know. I mean, unless you were at Area 51, Roswell. Yeah. That farmer definitely thinks otherwise. So I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like because we exist here and Earth and like our solar system is like so infinitely tiny in comparison, or like as far as a percentage of the entire universe. Yeah. I feel like just statistically there has to be. There's like this, like I feel like there's a quote or something that like either way, whether there's other people or there's not, both ideas are like insane. Because if there's other, or like it's just incredible because we exist here. So what are the chances something similar happened on a different planet? And then if the universe is so insanely vast and we really are the only living life forms here, how fucking nuts is that?
Yeah, I like to think that there's more out there, and whether they visit or not, I don't know. That's a whole different story. But
we're not visiting anywhere. So if we went to another planet or like fucking light years away, we would be the aliens, right?
Right. Yeah. And so I do think like if we had the technology, would we be visiting? Yeah, sure. Look, we're trying to do it now, right? Yeah. So fast forward, 2,000 years from now,
we only invented flight like a fucking 100 years ago.
Yeah.
We only like got figured out how to get across the planet 100 years ago.
Yeah,
like as far as going to other
planets, time, right?
Yeah, it just takes some time.
So
right?
And I mean, we went to the moon. The last time I think we were in the moon was like in the 70s, right?
Yeah,
mid 70s. Yep. We haven't gone back since.
Yeah.
So like we kind of been on a standstill. So I could see it being real possible. But to something, is there aliens? But if you've heard the theories like, oh, there's multiple dimensions, right?
Yeah.
Multiple realities. There's that term.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the case. Couldn't there be a dimension where their aliens 100% exist?
Yeah.
So then theoretically, in a sense, I don't know if that's the right word, but it kind of makes sense that aliens, it's safe to say that aliens do exist in some dimension. Whether it's the one we live in now or currently in or another one, but like in another universe, you've ever seen any of those Marvel world shows and all that? They have like multiple characters and one's good, one's bad. Well, couldn't there be a world with like we're doing a podcast and outside there's some guy getting anal probed right now for an alien? It's very possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is that maybe like If you're like maybe there's some like multiverse where there's like us here, and then there's maybe a version of you that's living a slightly different reality on some other planet, or like
right, yeah. There's that. You know,
have you ever
go
seen
left, you go right.
Yeah, or have you ever seen the one from I think Jet Li or something? Was it?
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah, where he like kept going to like the other realities and killing himself because like the energy of you is dispersed between the like 1,000 or million versions of you, and every one of you that dies, like it gets dispersed into the rest, and so he's just going to try to kill himself everywhere
to be the strongest. Right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
Until there's only 2 of them left, and now they're like both superhuman strength, and
I remember at the end, that was pretty cool. That was a great movie, actually.
But maybe something like that where it's like there's this millions of types of you somewhere, and they're all just living slightly different lives.
It's imagine just opening the door and there's like 12 Joeys.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like one's a hippie, one is like fucking stuck military, like one is a drug addict, one like had 10 kids by 23 years old, you know?
All named Joey.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. You ever hear how they say everyone has a doppelganger?
Yeah.
I think that's the weirdest thing.
That is although it makes sense because I've seen friends that I'm like, have you ever seen that video where it's like it's this guy watching like an MMA fight and he's like, grab his dick and twist it.
Yeah.
The old dick twist.
The old dick twist.
That video of that guy who's saying that, I swear to God, is exactly like one of my best friends or like my best friends growing up. He looks exactly the same. He's super tall. I mean, it literally could be him. Like it is him. You know, it looks like him. If you didn't know, you would think it was him.
That's
so
crazy.
like I've seen that before for sure.
I've seen people that definitely look like, or I'm like, oh, it is a kind of a weird thing, but it's just fascinating. I think like, there's so thousands of millions of ways to structure a human, but there's somehow
it gets pretty close to each other.
Pretty close. It's kind of crazy.
Maybe it's like if you see like certain other ethnicities, like Asians often look very similar. You know, maybe that's just from like a Western mind, because I think like a lot of Asians think white people all look similar.
Yeah, I've heard that. But I mean, like you walking around and you literally find your doppelganger.
Yeah, like they're exactly the same.
I think that's the buggiest thing.
Yeah,
to see. And imagine, and what if it's like in a different ethnic? You know, you meet an Indian version of Joey.
Yeah,
like it's kind of crazy.
It's the same
thing, you know, but just different. You know?
Yeah, right.
I think that's kind of cool to see that, but never encountered it. But I think it'd be kind of fun. You know? Be fun. It would be, although I kind of meet myself. I meet somebody walking around like this right now and be like, oh shit, I'm getting robbed.
Yeah.
They probably think I'm robbing them, right? It's like the Spider-Man thing, like
Yeah, exactly. So. He's also wearing a ski mask.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. That's one of the great things about why podcasts are so cool is because it is just a fucking conversation.
It's just a conversation. It's not scripted. It's genuine. And that's how most I think it's as genuine as if we weren't on recording, right?
Yeah.
As if we were just talking in your backyard, having a beer, barbecue, and just having a good time. The only difference is there's a camera.
Exactly. Just chatting it up. I think that's also why it resonates with people so much more. Because like the authenticity factor of it, like in contrast to like when you're watching the news and they're like, at 7 p.m. on Thursday the 17th, a little girl went around the corner to find... Like, it's such a weird way to speak.
It is.
It's like, there's a guy like, hi, honey, I'm home tonight. Does he speak like that all the time? Obviously not. No, it's such a weird way to communicate.
And the news is nothing of good...
Substance.
Good substance, but it's just never good reporting. People don't want to hear, like, good things like, Bobby, lemonade stand did well and donated all the money to the homeless.
Yeah,
that might get like the bottom of the news right before they go to the commercial break.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's a really cool thing, and maybe it should have been up. Not
like there's 7 people shot dead in Illinois today.
Yeah,
you're like, what the hell?
And a terrible thing. It should be reported, but there should be a balance of some kind. Right?
For sure.
I think.
Yeah.
So.
Well, part of the reason is like they've got these short time slots. They got to be as salacious as possible. And what's really interesting is not that the local kid, 12-year-old, made money on the lemonade stand. What's really capturing is like fucking 7 people are shot dead. It's like, what the hell? Like, what kind of crazy shit is that? But the thing is, it's like it gives you a false perception of the reality around you, because all you're doing is hearing from these extreme cases across a population of like hundreds of millions of people or billions of people across the planet. We're hearing these crazy fucking cases. And so you think that's what's happening outside. But in reality, it's like 1% of 1% of 1% of 1% of the happenings
It's creating an
are
illusion.
these crazy things.
I've always thought too, it's interesting because most news are prime time, right? Like for the most part, there'll be shows, but there'll be like prime time segments, news at 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And, there's ratings on movies, like R-rated, this and that, whatever,
Yeah.
right? I may or may not have children, right?
Yeah.
for part of my covering myself, right? I would let my kid. I have kids. I don't let them watch the news.
Yeah.
And I don't think most parents would want. It's nothing good. It's like, this person died or there's a shooting, and I don't want my 4-year-old to hear that.
Yeah.
How do I now? I have to explain that to them.
Yeah.
I want them to keep their innocence. I always thought that was interesting. Like they're so mindful of lyrics and curse words on television, movie ratings. But then the news will say
whatever the fuck
craze they
want,
want, and
murders, rapings, killings.
When kids are
thieves.
probably up and watching.
Yeah, that is really interesting. There's fucking parental warnings on music,
everything,
yeah, and games.
But
everything.
There's no parental warnings that I've ever seen noticed
on the news.
And now
unless they go crazy, like something really, really bad, they'll maybe give like a 30-second warning, like, hey, turn people away. But for the most part, they're talking about pretty shitty stuff. And that's just on the news.
I mean, it's the news being reported, but I just think there's no, and maybe I'm wrong. There could be a parental thing. I don't, to be honest, I don't have cable anymore because I don't like commercials or the same old news being reported, but, and it's gotten expensive too, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. But I've always thought, it's kind of interesting. Like this kids are up. That
is an interesting point. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck those people.
Fix it.
It is interesting. They're like a dying breed. I really think that it's mostly the older population, that listens to traditional news sources. I don't know anyone, around 30 years or younger that really follows, gets their news from Fox or CNN or MSNBC. I really think that it's definitely the older population. And what happens as it continues to trend towards podcasts is like a form of figuring out your information, or just there's plenty of actually political people that just do long format discussions about what's happening, have people who disagree with them on, and they have these long debates. I mean, those are the interesting debates to me, the ones that take 2 hours to get through.
Yeah.
The ones that are these 30-second clips are fucking really annoying. I mean, it's not.
And they're scripted clips.
Yeah, there's nothing of substance. I do think that it's both though, because they would think one of my main problems with the presidential debates is that it's this horrible format where everyone has a minute to 90 seconds to answer this complex topic that's going to guide which way the country goes over the next 4 years. I mean, what a terrible, antiquated way to debate the most important things in the world, and most important things at that time, and a huge decision for the leader of our country. Yeah. What a horrible way to do it. And I always said they should be doing a podcast when maybe it fucking takes 4 or 5 hours or something. And I brought this up to an older colleague of mine. He's like, no one would ever watch that. Yes, they would.
100%.
Absolutely, they would. The success of podcasts are a clear indicator that people will watch and actually prefer these long format discussions over the dumb fucking news segments.
I think it would weed out a lot of the a lot of the fakeness. There's just gonna be people. I think who was Elizabeth Warren just asked. I didn't watch. Speaking of that, I didn't watch it all, but I was watching briefly. They interviewed her on something.
And she did a podcast.
And she just looked terrible.
Yeah.
Right?
What was it? There was something that she got bid on.
I think they were talking about Biden's.
Yeah, it was Biden's decline or something. She asked do you regret not saying something about that he was declining, or saying that he was very sharp up until May of last year or something. And she just and she just kind of wasn't sure what to do. But it was so weird over 4 years. The whole news media is just gaslighting us and thinking, oh, he's perfectly sharp. He's well-to-do. I mean, if you look at clips of him over the past 4 years versus even 10 years ago, I mean, the guy was a sharp debater. And, maybe he had, I don't know if views or whatnot has changed or largely remained the same, but just the way he communicated had clearly declined. And the guy had brain surgery to twice or something, or at least once they had brain surgery. I mean, there was a clear decline.
Definitely interesting time. How that all changed. But with the long format, I do agree with what you said, though. I do think that's the way to go. And media is going to only continue to change. I think AI is deep fakes and all that stuff's going to change things. There was a tweet, if you saw last week, it was reported that I think the tariffs, something with the tariffs, and the market literally flew.
Oh, went way up, and it was off like a fake tweet.
And it was a fake tweet.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional or whatnot, but like literally that just kind of tells you the power. And that gave, and I have been telling some other coworkers and people that, you know, I think we're going to get to a point where there's going to have to be some sort of like authentication of a video or something like when you get a baseball card, it gets graded. I'm like, there's gonna have to be some sort of like grading system, or
there has to be something like that, or like a stamp right on it that somehow the social media companies have to recognize this is AI or this is authentically generated. I wonder if there's even a way to determine that.
Couldn't tell you, but I think I can see a future where that's where things have to go.
Yeah.
Because of the deep fakes and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen some? I mean,
some are very good.
It's crazy. Like,
yeah,
you can make your own movie. If you ever want to be your own Tarantino, you can type it out and it'll literally create it for you.
Yeah, there's this guy online actually. He's got a YouTube channel. I think it's called the Dor Brothers, DOR Brothers. Okay. I think is the name of it. He does these videos, these short clips, like 3 or 4 minutes, and it's fucking crazy.
It is insane.
It's insane. It's like all the leaders of the whole world, and they're just like mostly like drinking and smoking and fucking riding fast cars, but it'll be like a mini story over this 3 to 4 minutes, and there's like a music over it. It's really, really interesting how fucking realistic it is.
It's amazing.
And right now, a lot of the AI is identifiable. Especially the deep fakes, like the mouths don't always work perfect. Right now, the fingers usually are a little bit off when they're generating people, but I've been tricked actually a couple. I thought I was pretty good at discerning between AI, but there's a post on the Butter Smooth post that I did where it was I thought it was a video of Isle of Man, this guy riding a fucking motorcycle like going crazy fast and like weaving through people.
Oh yes, I did see that one.
Do you see that? Yeah. I thought it was real at first, and I posted it, and then people are saying like, oh, this is AI, or this is it was actually a video game. It wasn't even like necessarily AI. Yeah, it was a video game, and people said that. I'm like, no, it's Isle of Man. Like, the people really do go this fast. Yeah. But people kept saying about the video game, I'm like, whoa, is it? And then so I started looking up actual GoPro video of people that do Isle of Man, and it's way more it's crazy. Way rougher. Like it's not as clean of a shot. Yeah, so yeah, I got tricked on that, and
got you.
Yeah, I know, and it's gonna just get better and better. I heard something today actually that AI is doubling in progress every 4 months.
Yeah,
that's an insane growth rate. This is like the internet in the late 1900s and late 90s.
Yeah, it's definitely growing fast. Between that and robotics, it's growing tremendously. But I think there's going to be a point where it's going to be completely indistinguishable. Yeah. You know, Tyler Perry, the big movie producer and whatnot, he was supposed to build this huge, like, $3 billion, several $billion investment out in Atlanta for like a studio development because they do a lot of filming out there. And he was brought to his attention these new AI movie development programs, and he, last I knew, was aware, he put a pause on that development. He's like, wait a minute, like,
why are we going to spend all this money doing this?
When
you can make a perfectly amazing shot?
Yeah, we can film in Egypt without ever leaving. Like, this is kind of incredible. So
how crazy?
It is really crazy. We'll see where it goes, but
we're at a really weird time. I'm trying to like spend a good amount of my days just like learning about like I don't know, just trying to stay up on the information of what's coming out about AI and like how's it going to be integrated in business and what to do with it, because we're really at like the precipice. It's basically like how fucking, you see that interview of Jeff Bezos in the 1990s where he's like, I was working a good job on Wall Street, and we read this really interesting statistic that the growth of the internet was growing at a rate of 2,500% per year, and it was a very staggering statistic. So we thought, how can we get in part of this? And so I mean, that's basically what's happening right now, doubling every 4 months. I don't know what the percentage is there, but that's a fucking insane growth rate.
Yeah, I equate it to when it's probably like the equivalent of when man got fire, got flying, like.
It's this paradigm shifting.
It's this thing that's literally going to change humanity, just like the internet. Like you said, it's the next big thing. Yeah, and it's going to enhance like robotics. And just all this stuff. And being able to, and then you have quantum computing with it. So you get the power of quantum computing, and I mean, this.
Our biggest headwind in the progress of this is actually not like human capability or anything. It's mostly power.
Yeah.
Like we need more power
Yeah,
to power these power plants, or to power these data centers. And so I went to a state of the market thing a few months ago, and they had the vice president of APS and SRP, which are the biggest power companies in Arizona, basically the only two primary ones. There's a couple small ones, but they were talking about how Arizona has taken 100 years or a little over 100 years to build our grid to its current capacity. And we need to double it over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
It's crazy.
The Silicon Desert, as they're calling it now. So all the companies coming out here. So that's why they're talking about going nukes and just all this new technology to pack because the amount of power.
Yeah. Well, we're going to build a new nuclear generating station, which is crazy because at some point it was always like, we're working off nuclear and natural gas to like move towards this sort of utopian renewable energy source. And now while renewable energy is definitely a big part of it, nuclear is coming back for sure.
Yeah. Well, they say the technology's got a little better to keep it, from blowing up, but things could happen. So I do think there's some sort of level of risk, but I'm not a nuclear scientist expert.
I'm not an expert on it too. Yeah. I think I could be wrong because I haven't researched all this as deeply, but I think the main concern with nuclear generating stations is there's no way to turn it off. Once you turn it on,
and the waste, I think,
it's on forever.
Too.
Oh, is there? Does it create a lot of waste?
Well, at least, like Fukushima, it was the water. All that water, the contaminant, like the cooling water, because usually the way it works, they put the rod in and it just boils water, and that's the heat is what generates.
And so they were putting the water back in the
the containment it cracked or something like that. So I don't know the details.
And that got away.
Yeah, and it's in our ocean, in our sushi, right? So
wow, is it still in the sushi or still in the fish now?
I don't know, but I mean, they said I think I read some studies that a while back that there is still heavy contaminated water in certain parts of that area, but like it gets filtered and whatnot, I guess to acceptable levels at some point, but still can't be good.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
like, I don't know.
Because I heard actually nuclear generating is one of the cleanest energies that we can actually create
until something happens.
Like exactly.
Chernobyl,
and then it's like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, there's a couple instances, and that's where I think it gets the bad thing, but it is a clean thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because one of the main problems with like our renewable energy sources, like Arizona's one of the best places in the world for like solar, because we have like 300 plus days of sunshine a year. Very few places have that. We've got a very hot environment, very sun intensive environment. But the problem is you only get power during the day. And what about during a night? And also too, there's something to do with, once there's not like a great way to store it, or like if you get that energy, it can only be stored for like 4 hours or something
like that.
So it's got to be deployed to the grid immediately. And so we need to like come up with better ways of energy storage as well.
Elon comes in.
Yeah.
Figure it out, Elon.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. I mean,
makes me think about like Tesla too, about like Nikola Tesla, about his whole ideas. Cause he had like ideas how there's free energy everywhere.
Wireless
there's like energy like in the world and we could just pull from it.
Yeah, that's what they say. The pyramids. Did you see that recent thing with the pyramids that they found?
Those fucking things way deep underneath.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
it gives a lot of credence to that. There's a guy who I think his name was Christopher Dunn, who has a theory that was like a power plant, and like the obelisk were like connectors and stuff like that. So it's
that the pyramids were power plants.
Yeah. Because of all the materials how it was built, like the granite, the quartz, and the limestone. Like those are all like frequency inducing. I don't know the chemicals.
I feel like they should be able to just dig fucking 100 feet below the surface and check and see if that's actually there though, because they use some sort of like sonar technology or something to determine that that's there. Yeah, shouldn't they be able to like, if it's there, let's fucking dig and check on it?
Yeah, well,
that's a pretty insane discovery.
And I don't know why it's not getting more headline news. Like,
we should be double checking on this. We think it's what do they think? It's like halfway to the core of the earth, or like
I don't know how. I don't think it's that far. I think it's like a mile down or 800 feet. Still,
a mile is an insane distance. It downwards.
Yeah. What's crazy is like, okay, we don't know how the pyramids were built, right? There's still a lot of controversy. Yeah. Some people say this. So now you add that to it. It's like, how the fuck do you build this? Like, was that like
that's not slave labor going a mile below the earth?
Well, when was that built? Was that built before the pyramid? Like, was that?
Did they put it on top?
Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But the fact that we are like, yeah, oh, we'll get to it later. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. I do agree. Like, that's a lot of the discoveries out there. You know, they don't want to destroy it, whatnot, but there should be more time and research to be like figure out what's good. Especially it can have like a huge global impact.
For sure. Exactly.
On the humanity.
I feel like it had to be a smarter civilization that created those. It was actually one of like Rogan's earliest specials that he had a really good bit about it. Did you ever hear it about the pyramids, like how they were built?
No, maybe I might have heard of it.
He was basically like, you know, like humans are not that smart. Like, yeah, there's smart people out there, but none of us are. He's like, if I put you in the middle of the forest with a hatchet, how long before you send me an email? He's like, if the smart people all died and it was just us left here, what the fuck are we gonna do? I don't know how to make a cell phone. Who around us knows? Who here knows how to make a cell phone? Fucking no one. It's a very small percentage. And so he's like, what if at some point we had this like really advanced society that was like all about love and caring, and we had this like we moved things through energy and we spoke telepathically, and then all of a sudden the dummies like us outbreeded them. We just outfucked them, and now this is what's left. And then
that's kind of funny.
At some point, they just fucking came up to the pyramids and they're like, "This is ours now."
That's funny. It could definitely have happened. Right? That's a good bit. It's great. I don't know. I think that a lot of that stuff is just fascinating. Like the fact that we're not like further exploring it. You know, I think that's. You know, we have all these crazy reality shows of like who's getting married. This is The Bachelor.
I know.
Like
it's such brain rot. It's such brain rot.
There's no like. I'd rather watch a reality show of them live digging. Yeah. You know, down to like going to this tomb that no one's been. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Let's go beneath the surface and double check on that thing.
You know, if you want to find 10 idiots and have them go, at least then there's some substance to it. But
yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
I wonder what would be the reason against it. Are there like environmental concerns for digging next to it, or is it just the preservation of
Well,
also like what if we're preserving some idea of how we think the pyramids are when it's a completely fake idea?
Yeah.
You know, like what if that's what we're preserving?
I don't know. I think then that leads credence to those conspiracy theories that like, oh, there's a global elite.
Yeah, that know exactly what's going on,
but they don't want to give, you know, the Ring of Power. If you ever seen Lord of the Rings, those who have power to money.
Yeah.
So I can see, you know, but then if they find out like, oh, this is, you know, completely rocks the foundation of reality, well, then that's probably why. But also I'm like, well, you just also said at the same time that there's other dimensions. So like, that's pretty kind of crazy too. So I don't know. Like, what harm, right? So, but if it's going to make things better, why not do it?
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Or just like help our understanding of like humans' history. I think that'd be good to know, because it would obviously like, it would completely change our theories for how the pyramids were built, because now we got to factor this shit into it.
Yeah. And if it's something that's going to benefit, you know, there's so many cool things that it could be. But the fact that they're not spending enough time and money, I think is kind of
weird. Yeah. I do think there's a global elite, but I'm a little bit less conspiratorial on like how they actually influence things. I do think like basically the head of BlackRock likes the fact that it's very difficult to own a house. You know, I think in that sense, maybe they're passing legislation or doing whatever it is that they're not going to offer any home buying assistance, or so they want to have a huge market share. Then they have like a vested interest in making sure their company continues to expand.
Right.
And so in that way, they're like keeping down the common person and maybe like having undue influence or influence in nefarious ways that isn't best for humanity. But I don't know if there's necessarily like people who know the fucking moon is hollow and they're just like not letting us in on it.
I don't know. I don't think that's a thing too, you know, but I do think it is interesting, and it is, you know, it only fuels these conspiracies for so long.
Yeah.
You know? We have been in an age where for the last like couple months into like late last year, I have a buddy, for example, he's big into astrology and all that, and a fascinating individual. And, he had shared with me that we're in the age of Aquarius or something like that. Age of Aquarius. Yeah. And two of the things that would come place with it is from what I remember, because it's kind of a mind fuck of all the stuff. Yeah. It's like hard to like digest it all. It's amazing. Yeah. But one was that revealing of secrets.
Yeah, we're in the age of information.
An age of information and technology. And that's all you've seen since we've gone into there. Like all these like
It started like in the early 2000s or something,
No, literally,
or in 2020.
it started. I think we went to Age of Aquarius like in the towards the end of last year.
Okay.
So we went into that, and it's like fully on in there. And I could be wrong with the date, but it was fairly recent.
Yeah, I think it might have been like 2020-ish. Should we ask ChatGPT?
We could.
Clue it in?
According to ChatGPT, 10% of the world's using them.
Yeah, 10% of the world is using ChatGPT.
Or at least that's what Sam Altman said, the CEO. Yeah.
You know, I also heard him say it's costing them millions and millions of dollars, people saying please and thank you.
Oh, really?
Because of the additional processing time with it.
We want you to lose all manners.
Isn't that funny?
It's kind of crazy.
But they're like, keep it going just in case, that they take over.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Wait, what were we gonna look up?
Fuck, I don't remember. That's terrible.
I know. Wait, no, what was it? We were just talking about.
You were gonna look up.
We were on to BlackRock, and then.
That's so bad. I can't remember.
Conspiracies, a percentage of.
No, 10% of ChatGPT. So what were we gonna look up?
Fuck. God damn it.
God damn, I can't remember. I'll probably come back.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's so bad.
I know, that's really not good. Usually I'm actually pretty good at pulling it back.
I need to up my dose of lion's mane.
I know, yeah, exactly. I need some alpha brain in here. What the fuck? God damn it. So wait, what was that? We were like on pyramids and then...
Yeah, damn. Trying to think of what we were looking up. But we were just talking, the pyramids. We were just talking to like where that's at. I think.
Yeah.
I completely lost.
God damn it! What the fuck?
We were on something good.
Yeah, we were on something
to the left.
I know. Yeah, god damn it! If there was only a way to like cube it, this would be a good time to have a Jamie, a third person.
Yeah,
was like,
Jamie, hey, where were we?
Taylor, get in here.
Oh man, I don't remember. But anyways, I guess we'll move on.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't even know where. Dang.
God fucking damn it. The global elites.
It's all those chokes from jiu-jitsu, all that lack of blood flows are taking effect.
Although I heard that's actually good for you. I heard it is good.
That incident just a moment ago shows otherwise.
I know, right?
Man.
I heard like the restriction and like keeping and continued blood flow is actually like good for you.
Yeah, there's new training methods, right, for lifting and all that stuff.
Yeah, they do like blood restriction therapy.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. That stuff is fascinating.
Yeah, have you ever done that?
I have not. I've not done that.
It's pretty crazy. Like, Greg who trains with us. We'll do that with him. Like, I had like, I think I want to say a knee injury or something with my leg, and I did the cuffs on my upper thighs and just like shoot shots across the mat. He's got like mats in his place. Which, by the way, shout out to Greg. He's the fucking man. If you do jujitsu and you need to like help, like he'll be like, what hurts? So it hurts while you're rolling. Well, let's fucking put on some gis and like figure out like what positions or how it hurts there. But anyways, I was,
cool.
Yeah, he's the man. But like I had these cuffs on and I'm just shooting shots. It takes like 4 or 5 shots and your legs feel gassed.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing all the new technology. Oh, I remember now.
What is it?
Age of Aquarius. So you're going to look up
when did the Age of Aquarius start?
It came to mind. Yeah, I was about to say like all this new information.
Hell yeah, let's go. All right, we brought it back.
All right, brain still works.
All right. My ChatGPT's British, so let's bring it. Cue her in.
Only right.
Yo, ChatGPT, you there?
I'm right here, big dog. What's up?
When did the Age of Aquarius start?
The exact start of the Age of Aquarius is a bit of a debated topic among astrologers and scholars. It's tied to the precession of the equinoxes, which is a slow shift in the Earth's rotational axis, causing the position of the vernal equinox to move backward through the zodiac constellations. Some say the Age of Aquarius began in the 20th century, while others believe it started in the early 21st century or will start in the future. There's no universal agreement, but it's commonly thought to be around the late 20th to early 21st century.
Interesting. So like basically around 2000.
Yeah. So around now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, perfect. So it's crazy. As knowledgeable as that was, like that's my buddy. Like he just can ramble all that stuff. So it's kind of crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, you see all this like information, all these like conspiracies are coming up to light, all these like celebs getting in trouble.
Well, part of the like advent of internet and like our interconnectability is that bullshit is way more vetted out. Just kind of like how you were saying with podcasts. Like if you have an opinion on something, you can sort of or maybe if you don't even hold that opinion, but your party wants you to suggest points and defend a position, you can really defend that maybe for like, you know, a certain amount of time. But eventually, if you're not like totally versed, or if it's not the correct opinion, maybe you totally believe it wholeheartedly. If you allow enough time with two people who are extremely knowledgeable on the subject, eventually the truth comes through. Right. And so if you're limited to 5 minutes together of this debate, and really all you're trying to do is fucking dunk on the person you're debating against, so you have this sick sound clip that goes viral, then the truth never gets through. But if you're debating for 2-3 hours, eventually, like
things are gonna slip.
Things are gonna slip if you're not, you know, honest, or if you're not really, you know. Eventually, the better the truth comes through.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. I kind of equate the internet and social media and podcasts kind of like, I like a lot of history. So it's kind of like when the printing press was invented, and now you started, you know, that's how information started getting spread, and ideas and things like that, and different sects and things like that started formulating with their own different opinions. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at, just on the massive scale.
Yeah. I think. For sure.
But it's kind of just interesting. It really is.
It's like if we're all one organism, if you think of us as like one thing, the advent of the internet was almost like our nervous system, our ability to connect with each other in very far amounts. If I stub my toe, like I know in my head immediately, like that's what happened. And that's sort of like how, like, you know, for example, if you're trying to learn the guitar, there's some guy in Australia that has 37 videos on how to play fucking Freebird and all these things. And normally, before the internet, you'd have to know someone locally that could teach you these things. But now you're connected to the entire world. Anyone who knows anything can post something, and you in a second can be right with them and be learning from them.
That's like jiu-jitsu. I mean, jiu-jitsu just exploded. Yeah. You know, but, you know, now you can there's countless videos and people you can watch. You can literally teach yourself jiu-jitsu from just watching videos. Yeah, and exactly. People who've done it. I'm not saying it might not be the best, but but the fact that you can do that for almost anything, cooking, you just name name a skill, you just Google it and you'll find a video.
You'll find some of the best people in the world who can teach you. You know, not even just generally good people. Some of the best in the world will be able to teach you, usually for free.
Right. You can find some, which is just amazing to be able to see. Like,
it's incredible.
And from the comfort of your home. Yeah. You not even have to like go anywhere.
Exactly. You know?
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And I'm also just trying to use AI too, just to, for one, if you're just like that, if you're Googling something, it's so much better than Google. Like, it just gives you so much more of a comprehensive answer. If you have a question about something, you can ask it again, have this sort of conversative way to figure out the answer there. And then also too, like, I've used it in the way that, like, you know, I've never owned a pool before. I've got a pool now, and I got a pool pump, and I had to clean my pool pump. And it shows you the directions on the side. But like, one of the first things, it says release drain valve and unplug, or release pressure valve and unscrew drain plug. And I'm like, what the? I knew where the pressure valve was. It was on the top, but I'm like, where the fuck is the drain plug? And what even is that? And I just took a picture of my thing, and I'm like, hey, where's the drain plug on this? And they're like, based on the picture and the model you have, it's likely on the left lower side.
That's amazing.
Like, just found out instantly.
That's amazing.
But before, I was like, I don't even know what a drain plug looks like. I'm not even sure, you know. And now that I've seen it, like, it's obvious to me. So if you fucking have a pool pump, maybe that's very obvious.
Yeah,
but
you're
to
a pool
me,
expert.
Yeah, I was like, what do I just like? I gotta call fucking the pool store or something? I gotta ask. Within a millisecond, I had an answer.
That's amazing.
You know, also too, you know, I told you to get you saw my Japanese toilet.
Yeah.
Doing the electric for it. Electric is set up in a way that, you know, you go to a different country and their plugs are different.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have you been they don't have those 3 prongs. Yeah. They've got like weird, it looks different.
I went to Europe and I had to have like 17 different chargers. It was ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And the wiring is also different in different countries. So in America, I think it's something like red, blue, green is the positive, negative grounding wire. Yeah. In other countries, it's different colors. And so the electrician was here trying to figure out the thing, and he's like, what the hell is this? What do we do? And I'm like, fuck, you got to try to get online with Toto. It's going to take like 30 minutes to get an answer, or maybe 24 to 48 hours or something in some cases, to like send a question and have them get back to you. this guy's over, scheduled this time. I just take a picture, ask ChatGPT, and like, what's the positive, negative thing? They're like, whoa, it's likely this, this, and this. And we're like, in a second, just
That's
fucking
hilarious.
figured it out.
What's so special about that toilet? Let's talk about that toilet. Because I was like, that's a massive fucking toilet. It looks amazing. But what do you like about that toilet? Why did that toilet get picked?
So I'll take you through it.
Yeah.
First
and what
off,
is its capabilities? Because that thing looks intense.
So it'll give you blowjobs.
Keep that laugh. Oh, that's great.
And then so first it's wall hung. So and wall hung, you don't need to get a
Is that
toilet.
the guy who made it?
No, it's like hung on the wall, so there's nothing there's nothing touching the ground.
Okay.
Actually,
I thought there's the designer wall hung.
No, it's called Toto. Is the brand?
Okay, got it.
But it's hung on the wall, and so there's nothing touching the ground.
Okay.
And for a wall, and so that means there's no back that you see.
Okay.
Usually the part of the toilet you lift up and kind of see the water and
So you
stuff.
save some space.
That's
there.
in the wall. Yeah, so you save actually about up to 18 inches of space.
Okay.
So for a smaller bathroom, it makes a huge difference.
Okay.
If it's more narrow. Second, you walk up, the lid automatically lifts, gets
Does
ready
itself?
for you. Yeah, it lifts
Okay.
right itself. In the winter, it's fucking freezing cold. That seat, you sit down, it's warmed. Seated.
That's
you
crazy.
can temperature controlled. You can make it like the hottest or warmest. You sit down, it feels like you're sitting on a bagel. It feels so nice. It pre-mists the toilet to help with cleaning. It's extremely water efficient. It's got a bidet, so it'll squirt water. It's got actually a vagina cleaner, a butthole cleaner, 2 separate buttons. And then while the water is going, there's a few different features. One, you can make it pulsate to give a massaging sensation, and then you can also make it oscillate to go back and forth. And after you're done with that, there's a dryer. You just hit that and it dries you off.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So what if the alien that abducts you is not probing, just wants to test out a new toilet?
It's the best butthole I've ever seen.
It's unbelievable.
It's the cleanest butthole I've ever
It's got a
seen.
Toto.
And then also you get up, it automatically flushes. Don't have to ever
That's
flush
cool.
it. Yeah.
All right, that's an intense toilet.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And honestly, like once you experience the bidet, like it's really nice. I never want to poop at work anymore.
All day, you're like, fuck that.
Yeah, it is really nice. And like most other countries actually use bidets. America is like one of the few places in the
not a
world.
thing, yeah.
Even in like third world countries, they have like bidets in their toilets.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Often, a lot of places will.
That's kind of crazy. That's an intense toilet.
Yeah, because you think about it, if you were to like fucking get shit on your foot, would you just wipe it off with toilet paper and call it a day? Or would you wash it off?
Right.
It's kind of same with your butthole. You should be washing it off.
Wash it clean. That's hilarious. That's crazy. That's pretty funny though.
Yeah.
Like, imagine what AI and robotics will be like in 20 years with that toilet to wipe it for you. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it basically gets there.
yeah. I mean, it's going to talk to you. Like, what is it going to be like? Could you imagine when it's like we have ChatGPT, but let's just say the technology today was where it's like, you have a robot that kind of like the Terminator. You have this robot that's fully like, it looks like me or you, but it's literally a robot and can talk, like has its own, like we're talking now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, Tesla is making like personal robots.
That's what they're doing, but they're not going to be.
It's not going to look like us.
It's not going to look like us.
Maybe not yet.
Not yet, but I'm saying fast forward.
Yeah.
Imagine we had that technology today.
Yeah.
You're doing, instead of doing a podcast with me, you're doing it with like.
With AI, with ChatGPT, but in a human.
Correct. And that can have the fully functional conversation. Like
That'd be
right now.
really weird to me, honestly.
Right? Like,
yeah,
it's
because
kinda-
it'd be like an infinitely smart person that's also probably insanely strong.
Right. Knows every martial art. Like,
Yeah,
it's kinda-
literally might. Yeah, right.
Actually, that
Well, that's something you can't really upload jujitsu knowledge to the internet. You can upload an instructional.
but let's just.
Maybe they can model it perfectly. But you really can't, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Could you?
Well, yeah, you just said you took a picture and it analyzed it. So if it takes frame by frame of a jiu-jitsu video, instructional,
Yeah.
and now it's able to analyze and download and it has I can see why not can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I get maybe there's like a part of jiu-jitsu that's almost like invisible jiu-jitsu. You really got to feel it to like experience it. But I guess there would be like a
Could you imagine? You're a black belt. Could you imagine trying to go against a robot that knows
a robot that
yeah.
like knows jiu-jitsu, or maybe just downloaded every
Just down-
instructional?
Yeah.
I wonder. I'd go at it.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't, right? Like, I like to see Gordon Ryan go at it, but like, it's just kind of crazy to think about it, though. Like, there's going to be, that's why it's so crazy. They say that AI will be smarter than every human combined.
Yeah, for sure.
But that'd be kind of a weird conversation to have with this.
Well, also too, part
entity.
of like this infinite knowledge is the ability to learn and self-update. So all it would take is a couple rolls maybe to dial in that triangle choke or dial in that, because it would have like feedback and then like be able to learn and update in real time.
I mean, they do that now with like, it's not the same, but they do it with like chess. They have the grandmasters play chess.
Oh yeah.
Against I think it was like Deep Blue. They have another game, Go, which is like the oldest game. It's like the little pebbles. And like they do that now. So, but just now.
It's a computer that does the chess moves, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think humans have one, but I think it got to the point where like the robot now just doesn't lose.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine that with like jujitsu.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Or
exactly.
Really maybe that's where, that's where the future of sports will go.
That's a little scary to think.
Like you have your own robot.
Yeah.
Just program.
I don't mind having the own robot to like, mow the lawn and do the dishes and stuff. But although imagine, you just have your normal Tesla robot. It like does your dishes. It like cleans your house. It's very, very affordable price too. Yeah. Maybe it's like something like a car costs like 10 grand, but then you've got a maid infinitely cleans the house every single day, mops, does everything.
All the basics.
Feeds the dogs, does everything. Anything you really want to teach it. But then you wake up at 2 a.m. one day and it's just like standing over you.
Cue the laugh. No, it's true. It's like,
imagine you're like, what the fuck?
You didn't plug me in the charger. Like it's kind of crazy that. But I'm saying like it'd be kind of crazy that we're probably not going to see it. I mean, I don't know. We could be wrong. Probably in our lifetime we could see it, but like it'd be so buggy to think of a world where like you have a robot that literally knows everything and you can't really distinguish. I mean, all of those sci-fi movies are like that.
I know. Crazy. This is how it starts.
That's exactly how it starts. But it's kind of crazy to imagine what it would be like to live in that world.
Yeah. Have you heard Mark Andreessen talk on Rogan's podcast?
Maybe.
He's like a tech guy, lives in California. Like I don't know exactly what he's done. I think he does mostly startups now, or funds startups.
Is that the guy who has like the egghead kind of?
Yeah.
I know
he was
smart guy.
Very
really
smart guy and really interesting too. He talked about how there's not a clear progression from where we're at right now to like autonomous intelligence, like how like you and I are intelligent. He said like we don't really understand how consciousness works in us. Right. Like we're not recreating that because we don't know how it works in us. There's so much before. There's not like a logical progression from where we're at right now to like independent consciousness.
Yeah. But if it develops, if there's if
they get there,
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy to be interact. But again, going back, that's kind of crazy. You're rolling, and it's like it knows every fucking move.
Yeah. Have you seen those like robots that have like killed themselves?
No.
There's like they've made robots that like does like an automated job, like where they just move this to here, and like after like the third day, it like killed itself.
I'm going out.
I forget how it did it. I think it just
that's
like
hilarious.
It like just shut down or something. I forget. Maybe we're like anthropomorphizing. I think this is the right word. The robot, like giving it human characteristics. Maybe it just broke.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't suicide. Maybe it just broke.
It just broke.
Yeah.
Faulty material. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy what it's going to be like. Same thing going back to the guys who are doing like the CRISPR technology. They were saying like, and on Rogan they were saying how like you'll be able to pretty much develop a human whatever you want. But now you take a human and robotics, like you know. All those cyborgs.
CRISPR technology is like that wolf thing, like creating a wolf out of.
Yeah, but now you'll be able to do it with humans where like, okay, I want to be 7 feet tall. You'll be able to. It's kind of, it seems so far fetched, but like fast forward, 500 years from now.
Yeah, people are doing that.
It's not far fetched anymore.
With that wolf thing, did they have to impregnate like a living wolf to grow it, or how did that happen?
That's what
they did. Have to impregnate.
I think so.
They put an embryo in like a.
It's. I recommend it. It's really. I recommend watching it. It's really fascinating. But the fact that they're able to do that, I mean, that's what we know. Who knows what other technology, what other countries are doing some stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Like if you had gazillions of dollars, I'd probably be spending researching and digging the pyramids. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, like, wouldn't that be like an ideal way to fight wars if you could just like create people that like are designed to like, you don't have to kill your own population. You just like have these like war people.
Yeah, I guess so. Or robots.
Yeah. Or robots. Yeah. Although I do think once we get into like drone warfare, like that's like that's the end of humanity.
That's what they're saying is next. I think they were talking at West Point. Elon Musk was talking about that a while back.
Like drone warfare?
Yeah.
Because imagine if they just released like fucking 10,000 drones across like Arizona. They just go, human detected, human detected.
It's crazy.
You know?
Yeah.
It'd be like impossible to fucking deal with it. You know? They just break through your window, come right in.
Yeah, I don't know how
you have to sit with a shotgun, but eventually one of those 10,000 is going to get there. Maybe you get off a couple, but it's going to react instantaneously too.
That's right. Yeah.
So
you have to live underground then.
I guess so.
Back underground we go.
You know what is actually sick? I wish I would have maybe spent more attention on it. When I was like first got into the real estate business, there was this blast that was going around in this place in like southern Arizona where this guy owned like an underground bomb bunker.
That's funny.
It was like 3 stories underground and he was trying to sell it. And I want to say it was like only a couple $100,000 at the time. And imagine fucking that thing.
I actually had that idea like a while back. I saw like listings and I was with my brother and I don't even know why I even looked it up. One day I was like underground bunkers for sale or something like a weird, I think I just for whatever reason looked up like weird real estate for sale or something. I don't know what it was. And I found a decommissioned missile silo. That was
missile
silo.
What is that?
Where they launched the missiles out of underground. Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know where it was. It might have been. It was somewhere in the Midwest.
That'd be sick to own one of those.
That's what I thought.
Like you had to relaunch the missiles.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think it was in like the Midwest somewhere, and it was like on a couple of acres. I mean, it was decommissioned. I think it was from like the 70s or whatever.
You could get that thing recommissioned, like off grid.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool, and I think it was like for like, it wasn't like I could buy it. It was like $1 million, $1.2 million. It was, but I thought like, oh, that's a great deal. Like I was going to be.
Wow.
I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, it's a great deal.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool. And then you fast forward all these years later.
Yeah.
Everyone's buying crap like that and making them to cool Airbnbs, making them these bunkers. And I'm like, I was sitting on a gold mine, literally like, we should have bought the missile silo. Yeah. My brother actually always brings it up. He's like, we should have bought the fucking missile silo.
That is crazy. Imagine turning one of those things, that 3-story underground bunker, into an Airbnb.
You can look it up. There's a thing
for
it.
sure. People would rent that.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's exactly, I was like, worst case, we have a really cool bunker. But yeah, I thought that'd be kind of cool. So yeah.
Did you see that that mansion in Alabama that's going viral for how cheap it is?
No.
It's 55,000 square feet, which is the size of the White House.
Okay.
And it's for sale for $5 million. Apparently, the guy spent like $24 million in 1997 building it, and I forget who he was, but ended up losing the property in like the late 2000s, and it was sold at an auction for 4.7 million in like, I don't know when, but the now current owner is listing it for 5 million. But it's gone crazy viral because like $5 million bucks, you know, in California gets you a 2,200 square foot house. This is like a fucking 55,000 square foot mansion on like 20 acres with 2 separate 5,000 square foot guest houses and this insane, you know, double spiral staircase at the entrance.
That's crazy. And it's probably in a nice area because like you don't just build it.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't build that in like right next to a mobile home park.
right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, if I had $5 million, I'd buy it.
Yeah, right? Yeah, if I had that, I'd probably toss that out there. But I think because of how viral it's gone, I'm sure the guy like maybe raised the price.
Oh, I'm sure there's a bidding war.
Yeah, I'm sure
it
was
like right now, if there's anybody looking for selling their missile silo, it's going to start going up in value.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, exactly. Like I saw in one of the videos on like Instagram of the guy that like was posting about it, Shaq commented on it and said how like, he was asking something about the price or what part of Alabama or something like that.
That's funny.
So obviously when it gets that sort of notoriety, like obviously you get a little bit more cash than 5 mil.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I could, I would build a bunker in my house just to say I have a bunker.
That would be sick. That's honestly one of the coolest things about having like a crazy nice mansion is what I would want to do. There was this one property in Paradise Valley that was for sale for a little bit. I saw this video on the TikTok that said that it's the most expensive house in Arizona, and really it's just they're asking the most. You know, but they were asking like $47 million. Oh, wow. But it had a fucking underground bunker.
Really?
Yeah, where it had like a bowling alley and a shooting range and like this whole speakeasy underground and the entrance to it looked something out of like a fucking like Batman villain movie.
I think that's pretty cool.
It looks so sick. Like that's something I would love to have.
Well, yeah. I mean, who would want like the Bat Cave in their house?
Yeah,
I think
in their house.
Like, that's
Yeah.
kind of so cool.
That's so sick.
I would do it.
Yeah, imagine you could go downstairs, fucking let off some rounds.
Yeah, gonna watch the
Downstairs.
fights, guys. Come on down to my Bat Cave.
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
It'd be cool to have, but if I built it, I don't think I would necessarily put in a shooting range underground. I think I would just do more cool stuff for underground.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, like it's cool. It's cool to have, but I mean, it's not necessarily. I just don't think I'd put it in there. I wouldn't build it myself. You know, it's like you got like a family and kids, and you're like, "Where's Dad?" He's just blowing off some steam downstairs.
He's lighting off rounds.
He took the machine gun downstairs. Don't bother him.
Had a long day at work.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious. Dinner's ready. Hold on.
Although I think actually with like where it was, you probably wouldn't hear it at all from
That's
the ground
probably
floor.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably true.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That
That'd be
would
kind of cool.
sick. That would, oh, you know what? It made me think actually just now is that if I get a sick self-defense weapon, that would be cool to have. Did you ever see? I think it was like the first or second Jackass where they shot that beanbag at Johnny Knoxville.
Oh yeah.
That would be actually pretty good to have, right? Because it's not going through one of the neighbors' houses, but you'd fucking put someone down. If you hit them in the head, I think they would die.
Probably.
Yeah, with one of those beanbags.
You know how you said that just gave me. You know how you said Optimus to like vacuum your house, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you could also buy like the bodyguard version.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Until it doesn't recognize you because you shaved that day or something.
Or you're wearing a mask.
Yeah, you're wearing one of these. Fuck. It kicks open the door. Like, you have to like expose yourself right before you die. It's me.
That's hilarious. It's just kind of so crazy. I always think every sci-fi movie is going to come true. I think it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
Time will tell.
You know, one thing that's weird is that like you always thought that with the advancement of technology and us getting, you know, just more advanced, that we would replace all the blue collar workers. That was sort of the general thought that there'd be no low level labor. But now it's really looking towards is that like ChatGPT and stuff is going to replace a lot of white collar work.
Yeah, that's because the robotics piece hasn't kept at pace.
Yeah.
Right? But white doctors, paralegals.
Yeah.
You might have an office. That at one point had 10 paralegals. Maybe now
Yeah.
you only need one or two.
Yeah,
Because
maybe those guys go away completely.
at some point. Yeah,
You know, because
100%.
like I'm thinking about it for real estate, like for a contract negotiation. Yeah, if like right now, for a big deal, there's maybe some complex points to it. It could take up to and if sometimes guys are slow and stuff, it takes a month. Maybe even 2 months to like negotiate like all just the contract points back and forth. Instead of that and thousands of dollars, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 or something just in attorney fees. Instead of that, you could fucking copy paste it into ChatGPT and say, hey, what's fucked up here? Give me some, change these
Right.
points, do this, redline it this way, send it back to them in literally seconds. Take away the work that to cost thousands of dollars for the
Right
human.
time. Yeah, between the title agents and then here's a price bid. Create a contract that's fair.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and conceptually might do it better than the human.
Right. Yeah. I think it could that we'll get to that point at some point.
That
'Cause
seems like a clear, easy path.
It's going to definitely get there. It's not perfect though, because I don't know if you heard. There's an article a while back that these attorneys.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that? How that just tells you it's not perfect. But
What exactly happened?
so they used ChatGPT to create its like
Their legal argument.
legal argument and whatnot. But it created fake cases and stuff,
Yeah.
and the judge knew like some of these judges that were excited, like, hold on a minute. Yeah. And then it went and checked, and it turned
It's
out
just a fake case.
It's fake, and so
Yeah.
they luckily they didn't get disbarred, but I think they paid a fine and had to publicly apologize.
Oh,
and whatnot.
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But that's kind of crazy. But,
Yeah.
you take those incidents out, and where it's now perfected.
Yeah.
Those jobs are going to be definitely, even
Yeah.
they talk about like with like ChatGPT and Grok, and Elon's like, oh, post your like X-ray photos, and it's analyzing all that stuff. So they're saying Bill Gates just said like he sees teaching and doctors and within a decade not being a thing anymore.
Wow, yeah.
Because it's just going to be all AI.
Yeah, teaching is an interesting one because that's like you can guide, what exactly it's being taught, which I guess that's what's happening right now too. But
But with AI, you can have it, teach
maybe tailor it to your
tailored this history. Imagine like how cool would this be? You're in a class, you're in a classroom, and the teacher's like,
tell me what really happened on 9/11.
Cue the laugh. Right. No, but like, we're going to, you have like, I just imagine auditoriums like, all right, tell me about we're going to learn about the Declaration of Independence. And now the screen, like it's an AI video and it's like a live movie of the Declaration of Independence, like the history teachers.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Like it's all like immersive.
In like crazy cinematic fashion.
Right. And immersive. And now the AI is able to communicate and ask questions like, what did we learn here? So I can see it.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Right.
That is interesting.
It'd be you probably get a lot more kids to pay attention to fucking school.
Wow.
Too, right?
Yeah.
I know I would have.
Yeah. Than some like grandma that's like just putting on a video and falling asleep.
So I can see that. But the blue collars aren't there because the robotics is not there.
Yeah. And it's not nearly as easy to scale.
No, you're not going to you just had work done in your home. You're not going to get, Optimus is not going to come in here and redo your plumbing.
No. Yeah.
Anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. I mean, it's not even in the foreseeable future.
No. Now, can AI help get there? Sure. But I think that's why
the robotics portion of it is way farther behind.
I think white collar stuff is going to be much more endangered per se than the blue collar stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's crazy is that there's also a huge shortage of blue collar right now.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. Well, partly maybe because it's been pushed that like the internet's here, blue collar work's going to go away, and and like college is pushed so heavily. There's no fucking college degrees about how to become a great plumber or a great electrician.
Right. It's been kind of demonized, so to speak, and like it's easy to get rich. There's a lot of I mean, you can make money off of anything nowadays. You got women selling farts. I'd sell my fart too if no one's buying it though, right? It's just kind of crazy, But like, so again, going back to like TikTok, so like it's amazing where you've opened this new world of capitalism and you're gonna make money, but is it like it's not actually contributing to society or building? Like we're not, the fart sellers not building the next pyramid. Let's be honest.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the plumbers, electricians, those are the guys that are actually
for sure.
those are the ones that are actually doing it.
Well, that's maybe partly why, like, if you get into the trades now, you're like almost with certainty. As far as averages, you're going to make more money than the average person that 100%. Just gets a college degree.
100%. Yeah. Think about that doctor who, like, 10 years from now, they, all that debt now,
Yeah, he's in $300,000 of debt, $500,000 of debt.
And now he's got to go back to school fucking being an electrician.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Because like to that point, like medical diagnosis is also like one of those clear runway of AI taking over.
Pharmacies.
Yeah.
Pharmacies.
Pharmacy.
Pharmacists, same thing. Like, I need a prescription. You're gonna plug it in, and I've seen it. It's pretty cool. It looks like an Amazon warehouse, but it'll like put the
instead of the guy coming in and then do it, and then like that, like,
hey, is there any interactions? You just ask ChatGPT, and it'll tell you like, oh, you can't take this.
Yeah.
So you
have any questions about your medicine, and then you just ask that. Yeah. Because that's interesting. I mean, that's also very clear of how that could happen.
So
you
there's
just
a lot
hand you the pills. This guy does this pills. Yeah.
Right. Maybe instead of you need 5, you got just one guy.
Yeah. Or maybe like you said, like robotics are just like, okay, these are the pill bots. It just gets X amount in there, and then it just gets pushed. You got any questions?
Some basic stuff, but those jobs are going to be. So it's going to be fascinating what that world looks like.
Medical diagnosis too is like, so most of it is memory recall. So if you like, based on these symptoms, I'm thinking it's a likeliness that it's this and this, but like the ChatGPT has the infinite knowledge of the internet behind it, plus every new research article that comes to it instantaneously.
Yeah, any new research, you just keep uploading it. It's going to get smarter and smarter.
Versus the doctor that got his degree 25, 30 years ago. Is he staying up on the most recent literature? He's now in his 60s or something. Does he have the best memory recall? Compared to ChatGPT? I don't think so. He has better memory recall than you or I. We forgot like our fucking what we were talking about 10 seconds ago.
That's so true. Well, I mean, they do surgeries now with like the Da Vinci. Have you ever seen that thing? It's like I think it's called the Da Vinci, where it's like these little
like micro hands.
Yeah, and it does all these and then the doctor being like Italy, and he's controlling it, but he's doing the surgery in like California with the machine.
Oh, whoa,
they have that
crazy.
Technology. It's pretty cool.
Maybe it'll prevent you from making any mistakes too. Now, just like kind of guides it in the right way.
So now you have like knee surgery. You put the person there, boom.
Oh, and then the best knee surgeon in the world cues in.
Yep, can do it. But imagine we're going to get to a point where you don't need the best knee surgeon. You literally have the robot that knows exactly precisely.
They just study all of his surgeries and see what he did, and then and then also build on top of that.
Yeah, the programs. You don't need surgeons.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
I mean, you guys see a lot of the sci-fi movies. All those nerds really, they're going to get their wish. We're going to be in like Star Trek or Star Wars. It's kind of crazy.
Wow. I don't know. It is interesting to see like what it's going to be like.
I don't know if we're going to see all that, but we're at the dawn of it is what's crazy.
Well, if you look at the rate of progression, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
You know, like if you think about, remember the fucking Razor was the shit? Like the early 2000s? Like that is a piece of shit phone today.
Yeah.
Like if you had that, you were the coolest fucking person. And it was like it was like state of the art technology.
Yeah. I remember, it's funny too, when you ever see cell phones, like when they first came out, they're like this fucking big.
Yeah.
Then they got really small. Now they're getting big again. Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Right.
But if you had the Razor, you were top dog.
Yeah.
You were balling.
Right. And then iPhone was only invented in 2007.
Yeah, it was 2007.
2007 was iPhone 1. So if you think about that, that's less than 20 years. We've had iPhones. The internet on our phone is less than 20 years old.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like the rate of, and like we talked about, we only learned how to fly like 100 years ago. It was like early 1900s when the Wright brothers took flight. Like 1904 or something.
I remember I went to the NASA Space Museum in Florida, and like they have the whole command center set up, like what it's like to be in there and all that. And then they actually have the iPhone on display, and it's like the cell phone has more data power capacity than all this other shit.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, more data capacity than what we used to like send the people to the moon. And
I mean, and it had like rooms of like, I think miles long of like, computers, like punch cards and stuff like that. So it's kind of crazy to see.
Yeah, computers.
That were like to now to our phones. It's pretty nuts.
That is insane.
Yeah, but we're literally at the infancy of it all, I feel like.
Yeah,
still.
I think so too.
I don't know what we're going to see.
I don't know either. What the fuck? Where are we going to go with it?
Yeah. You have 2 dogs, right?
Yeah.
Would you get a robot dog?
No, I don't think so. Part of the like joy of having it is like a real little thing that you care for, and that it's not going to be here forever.
Imagine what it's
definitely
like,
wouldn't get a robot
like
cat. Need that thing to die.
Remember what I said? Either cats are super nice or they'll kill you. There's no in between cats.
She's nice too, but like the cats just like do less. They're just, you kind of just take care of them.
They're divas.
Yeah, and they just don't really give a fuck.
No.
She's a cool cat. Don't get me wrong.
We had a cat too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
cool.
dogs are so much better.
Yeah, I have met some cats that are like dogs, and it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
They come out to you.
But there you go. That's like a thing that people in the cat community say. They're like, oh, it's just like a dog. Well, get a fucking dog. You're saying it as if like that's a huge compliment. There's dogs available too.
Yeah.
You can just get the real thing.
Yeah. And nothing against cats, but I don't equate them to being a dog. It's not the same. They're not the same.
Yeah. No, she's cool. She's honestly like, and especially like compared to other cats that I've met, she's like super nice, like loves everyone, like loves new people. She's like kind of cuddly at nights. I mean, she's a cool cat, but she's a fucking cat.
She's a cat. I think that'd be kind of crazy. Like, that'd be a cool way to. You ever see how they? I think in the CIA they used the cats to infiltrate and like as for espionage and stuff.
Okay, interesting.
Cameras and stuff. There's a whole documentary. It's pretty crazy.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, but now imagine you have like a cybernetic cat.
Yeah, now you just got a robot cat.
Robot cat that you can
fucking invades.
Oh shit.
Yeah, or it might be even like a bee, a robot bee. That would be way more indiscreet.
Yeah. Oh, you ever heard that wacky thing about the pigeons being robots?
Yeah, birds aren't real.
Birds aren't. That is so crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know who came up with that one.
Birds are real.
But I ain't gonna lie. Now every time I see a bird, I'm like,
is
it real?
Maybe some of them.
Some of them.
I guess some of them could be, right?
You know what? I don't discount that there's not like drone looking birds out there for sure.
Probably.
If I was like, hey, how do we, if it was your job to be like, all right, we need you to come up with some spy tactic to spy. I'm like, man, let's make a fucking bird drone. Like,
all you would have to do is like make it go in one of like 5 different locations every hour. So like, because if there was one bird in this one location all the time, like I would notice it. But like,
would you though?
I would think so.
I feel like
maybe I wouldn't actually.
No,
right?
I'm not most people are stuck doing this. Most of the time. They're not looking up what's going on.
Even like I'm outside gardening and stuff. Like I'll look at the birds, but I'm not like, that one's right there. Let me see if you're there in a little bit.
But when you're not looking, it could have flown away. Like, oh, it might be its favorite spot.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point you might catch on, but for the most part, you probably don't need to move it.
Yeah, unless it was like obvious, actually, like it's sitting somewhere like in the yard or something. Then you would notice it, obviously. But if it's just like on a power line, you might not ever notice it.
Yeah, no, and You don't even need to make it like pretend shit.
Yeah.
No, it's
And even that would be unnecessary. It's not like I'm like waiting for the bird to shit to verify it's
but
real.
but if you're like, wait a minute.
If you were on the edge.
If you're on the edge and you see it shit, like, oh no, it's real. It's just shit. You know, like if you're on the edge.
It has the feature for anytime it identifies someone who's onto
doing the
it.
drawing, like, I think he's onto us. Hit the shut button. You know, like.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm convinced. Birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real. That's it. You're right. See?
You made a good point.
You don't know.
I think that's like how the flat earthers get convinced. They hear like something that's just like, that's like, well, you know, I guess that makes sense. That's it.
That's a valid point.
I'm convinced.
Yeah.
How come I don't see a curve when I'm driving on Bell Road?
I don't know. That might be the most that's probably the most craziest thing I've heard recently, like in the last couple of years, like in the flat Earth thing. I'm like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty open to anything.
Yeah.
And like give it some grief, but that one's a deep struggle.
I heard this guy one of the most prominent flat earthers. I think went to Alaska, thought he was gonna see the wall, and like made this rocket for himself too, and like to go up X amount of feet into the air and like look for himself. And he came back and he's like, it's round, guys. I saw the curve.
Yeah, so like.
But now, like the flat Earth community, even though he was a very prominent person, they think he's a fucking shill for the government.
Oh,
like he was just like someone on the inside the whole time.
I don't know about that. That's there's got to be some sort of like I think there's a lot of things we don't know, but I was like that one's just a little too far fetched.
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah,
that
one's less fun for me.
Yeah, 100%. I've never been to space.
Yeah,
but it just. Some of that's pretty basic knowledge. And like,
and also too, it's like, what would be the reason to lie about the shape of the Earth? You know, what's the benefit for the people who are like, you know, hiding this knowledge from us?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the benefit?
Couldn't tell you.
That's one I know the benefit for saying 9/11 was a terrorist attack instead of an inside job. That's a pretty clear difference right there.
That's a different one.
Yeah, you don't know for sure it's an inside job, but that one makes clear sense of like all the the differences and like why it is a conspiracy.
That's a big one. That's a great point. Like, all right, so it is flat. All right, it's flat. I'll give you that. Why? Why
are they saying it's round?
Why? What's the big difference?
Maybe they do have like a thought. Should we ask ChatGPT?
We could. I don't know. But like it's weird though. Like okay, so I don't see what you're hiding if it's round or flat. And if that's the case, like that's the bigger conspiracy. Fuck that it's flat. All right, what's behind it?
Yeah, exactly. Why?
I don't care. All right. I don't know. That's a weird one.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know about that one. I don't spend too much time of my day on that.
Yeah, right. Do you have any good conspiracy theories you subscribe to?
Oh boy. Let's see. Pyramids.
Pyramids being like they weren't built by slave labor?
I don't think they were built by Egyptians. I think Egyptian culture is fascinating, but I don't think that. I think there's more advanced. I think there's other ancient civilizations. I take credence in those. I hate the word conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of gotten a weird thing, but I think like I'm open to those ideas.
Yeah.
Like that there's ancient cultures.
Yeah. Real quick on that point, the conspiracy theory is like pejorative now.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
kooky. Like
it's like you're a crazy person if you say, "Oh, are you conspiracy theorist?"
Yeah.
Although like the origins of COVID, if you said it originated in a lab, you would get pulled off of YouTube a few years ago.
Yeah.
And just recently they said definitively it came from a lab in Wuhan. The fucking research, the coronavirus research lab. Yeah, they literally had like an institute of coronavirus virology in Wuhan where they're testing different strains of the coronavirus, and that's where it came from. But if you were to say that a few years ago, you would literally you'd be dubbed racist. You'd be dubbed a conspiracy theorist. It's this crazy thing. Meanwhile, isn't it way more racist to say that, like, no, it's because they eat bats?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Doesn't that seem way more racist?
Again, what is it? The age of of
information.
Age of information. So, I mean, that's an interesting one for sure. I mean, that there's still some things like, that's. Don't even agree with that much, but there's an active conspiracy showing like to suppress information. Like, there's throughout history. I don't know where a lot of people don't know their history and they just accept like truth, like everything the government tells them is truth. And it's not the truth. You know? We've seen that throughout all of time.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. It's like they've like lied and lied repeatedly.
Yeah.
It's not like every single thing that they say is a lie. There's obviously truth in what goes on, but there's been these massive lies that have been covered up throughout history, like clear evidence, and there's no one that denies it. But for some reason, people think like that was then, and now they just everything they say is the truth.
Well, the conspiracy, like for a while the church, it was a conspiracy theory if you said anything against the church and and them hiding the pedophiles, and covering that. Well, turns out to be that's very true.
Yeah, that's the truth.
It's terrible, right?
Yeah,
but that was you were labeled at one point as a conspiracy theorist on that.
Now it's like kind of the fucking government's hiding the pedophiles.
Yeah,
they don't like release the Epstein list.
Yeah, that's obviously something's going on there. Yeah, you had whatever's going on Diddy parties. Yeah, there's some sort of conspiracy going on there.
Why couldn't that be public knowledge? The Epstein thing. Like at the same time, and that is why I do think sometimes things are like, psyops to get you distracted. Because at the same time,
they just look over here. What's going over here?
At the same time, while Ghislaine Maxwell was getting tried, fucking the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial was like the talk of the United States.
She's sitting on my bed.
Yeah, exactly. And it was interesting going on, but the Ghislaine was being tried at the same exact time. Why couldn't we have a fucking publicly televised video of that? Everyone's just as interested in that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's interesting with the list because like, are they going to make a public? Like, well, I'm not an attorney, but like, doesn't that legally hurt your case and hard to try people? Because then if you're tried by jury, now you it's hard to get a jury by your peers if they've already had an opinion that's formulated. So I can see a lot of
I think, honestly, for a lot of these ultra wealthy, ruining their perception would be almost worse than like quietly putting them in jail or quietly.
100%. 100%. But I'm just saying from a legal standpoint, I can see why you can make the argument not to.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's right. I think there's definitely some shenanigans and it should be dealt with. And
if you found out, like, say the Kardashians were, fucking kids or something. They're all girls, so that wouldn't make as much sense.
I don't know. They're wacky.
Maybe contributing to, I don't know, like some ultra famous family or something that's ultra well. Good. Yeah, maybe or say the Kardashians for just like argument purposes. If they quietly tried them, and obviously it's going to be like the best lawyers in the world versus like probably like some sort of federal lawyers, like, and say maybe you convicted them or did something like that, would that be worse than like the entire population knowing that they're pedophiles and knowing that they're horrible, evil people? I think that would be worse for them. Like their life could never go really on.
Maybe for them because they would lose the lore that they have, because I think it's that power, that fame.
Not even that. Like they go from everywhere around them. I mean, kind of that. Like
people from loving them and idolizing to fucking wanting to kill them.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but it's definitely that's a conspiracy of some right. Is the Epstein thing for sure. What other ones I subscribe to? 9/11's always been fishy.
Yeah.
The Roswell thing's fishy.
What's Roswell?
That it was a weather balloon that crash landed.
Oh, just recently?
No, in the 60s, that the UFO crash landed in Roswell, New Mexico. The government, it was like reported in the news like a flying saucer, and then like the next day, the military said, no, it was a weather balloon. And then they covered it up. There's so many like interesting things. I don't know, those are probably some of the more like interesting ones. I think like 9/11 is the most recent one. That one I find interesting.
That's crazy. And Aliens. There's some that were like sort of like the coronavirus thing. Because again, it just was recently like said that like it's for sure came from a lab, but like the Operation Northwoods thing, have you ever heard about that?
No, what's that one?
It was, I forget which president, but they were going to arm Cuban friendlies and attack our own shore, like attack like Guantanamo Bay or something.
Is that like a recent thing that they did, or is
no,
it
was like in the 70s.
Is that what JFK time, like the Bay of Pigs that they were doing?
Maybe
around that time.
Maybe no.
That's a recent thing that came out. The JFK, nothing ever really happened with that.
Oh yeah, I thought the files were going to get released and we were going to know more about it,
but nobody really.
So they were released,
but they kind of distracted. Well, when it came out, there was like 10,000 pages. I was like, I'll wait for ChatGPT to summarize it for me.
Right. Yeah, I think, imagine just everyone did that. No one read it at all.
Somebody will get to it. So, yeah, I think that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
But again, that was just like, that's a big conspiracy, right? And I think that's interesting too.
Yeah. Like, him being like assassinated by the CIA.
Or that the government was covered up. And, that's a clear example of something that shows how malicious people could be. Yeah. And like, it's so blatantly obvious or like blatantly, like there's a lot of holes to their story.
Yeah.
And yet, people are like, oh yeah. that's a conspiracy. But there's there's different levels of conspiracy theories that are acceptable, right?
For sure.
Like
or like for on that the fucking on like say like on 9/11, what about the Pentagon? The Pentagon got a plane ran into it, but how come there's not one single fucking video of it? Shouldn't there be like thousands of video of security cameras around the Pentagon? How come we don't have one video?
So from my understanding, didn't they rounded up all the camera footage around, right? And the Secret Service and the FBI rounds but why? Right. And
it should be released to the public.
Should have been released to the public.
I don't think they say they have it. I think they say that like the official report is that like it hit some sort of data system and like it lost all the video, something like that.
That they confiscated.
No. Like the video, like there's no video of it.
Right. There's no video of it. But I remember reading during that time when it happened that
someone has it right now.
No. The Secret Service and the FBI went around to local businesses that had camera, like gas stations nearby that would have caught whatever.
Yeah, coming
down. They confiscated all that footage. Anything that would have caught that, it was all confiscated.
That's the thing, though, too. Like,
but why would
not one of them? There's not one out there that's still left. But what about the actual video of like in the Pentagon? Obviously, it's got to be one of the most security intense properties in the world. There's got to be cameras everywhere. How come none of those caught it?
I don't know. You know what? I can't remember, and because I was in New York when this happened. And so a lot of the stuff that I remember the reporting and stuff. So there's a lot of, to me, is a little crazy, some of the stuff, right? I don't know if they've ever actually interviewed anybody who was near the Pentagon when that day, and saw the plane.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because they interviewed everyone all around.
Maybe they did. I don't know, but where's that guy? I was eating my there was bagel and fucking plane just flew through.
Yeah, right. Well, also there was plenty of people that were there supposedly after the crash because the explosion or whatever, and there was a lot of videos of people walking supposedly plane parts, but there's nothing huge on the lawn. There's no wings. There's no there's nothing. There's people picking up stuff with their hands that are literally you could carry with your hands,
right? And again, so it's I don't know what exactly because I wasn't there, but it was in the New York area when 9/11 happened, and I remember. And you watch now, there's all these documentaries and specials, and they'll talk about the flight that crashed in Pennsylvania, but you don't see very much about the Pentagon, and interviewing Bob who was working that day at the deli, and then the Pentagon. Where is that?
Also, didn't a week before or 2 weeks before, some guy went and made this public announcement how they can't account.
I think that was Donald Rumsfeld.
Yeah,
said it was $3 trillion or something
unaccounted for.
Some odd outrageous number.
Yeah,
which I think is what Elon was trying to probably find. He probably stumbled on. And that's why he said on his interviews "You're gonna get me killed." If I go too deep on this stuff. So,
which that's crazy too.
It is very crazy.
There is a group of people that if you benefited from that, you just fucking off them. Well, what about the chef, Obama's chef that died? Did you hear that recently?
Yeah, I remember hearing this real, again, a lot of holes in that. Well, he was a great swimmer and kayak and magically drowns in 3 foot of water or something crazy. I don't know. It's what the fuck?
It was some sort of he was a swimmer in high school, actually competed in swimming. There was something like that. He was objectively a great swimmer and drowned in very shallow water near his house.
Yeah.
That seems a little odd, right?
Yeah. Questionable, right? No, there's a lot of that. I think because the age we in, it's more publicized, so the easiest thing to do is that's a conspiracy, and
that's the thing too. If
you're far right, and
if you instantly label it a conspiracy, then it loses a lot of the steam.
Yeah, what they've been able to do is the propaganda machine for both sides is to, in my opinion, is to just really dismantle anyone's opinion. If you don't like the opinion, or the opinion hurts what your cause, you're crazy, this, that, and they're gonna just kind of bash it.
Yeah.
And to fit the mold or you're racist or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That's what they've been able to do. The propaganda machine, that's the most powerful thing, right? And that's been throughout history.
If you could destroy someone's character, then nothing he says means anything.
Yeah. And that's been used throughout all of history.
Yeah.
The propaganda machine.
Yeah.
And to steer whatever the message may be, but it's been utilized, and it's definitely, but that's a 9/11. It definitely has a lot of holes, and it's
got a lot of holes in it. Of course, it's incredibly tragic, and that's one of the most evil parts of that. Is that if it was government influenced or government orchestrated, how fucking crazy is that? How evil is that they would purposely kill our own people to just fire us up for a war that was completely unnecessary. We spent 20 years looking for fucking weapons of mass destruction. Everything was completely bullshit. We lost millions of lives. Spent billions and billions of dollars.
And it's crazy. Nothing. Yeah. And a lot of people who serve and things thankful for what they do, but it kind of sucks if they had to go into something that,
that's also part of the tragedy too. The people that served and have these PTSD and horrible problems, all from maybe an unjust war.
Yeah.
ISIS is in control now. This whole fucking 20 years was literally for nothing.
Yeah. You can make the argument on that, right? So it is an interesting thing. War is not good, but it's kind of crazy how it's hard to how could that be? How could the government do that, or any government, right? There's a lot of examples.
Yeah.
Go back to the news. You watch the news for one night, and there's a lot of crazy shit that people do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of evil out there, and it's not so far-fetched to think, but when it comes to government-wise,
that they would sacrifice people for profit
or for whatever their cause or whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah.
There's many examples throughout history of people doing things, even if it was the intentions were good. I saw Oppenheimer recently. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
Fascinating. But what was really most amazing thing, one of the most amazing things to me was, and I don't think most people knew this, but maybe they did, but the fact that the scientists literally weren't 100% sure that they were going to fucking blow up the world, by testing. They didn't. They didn't
know for sure.
And it was in the movie. They didn't know, and that's kind of crazy that a group of really smart people said, "Hey, we're going to take this bet here. We think it's a good bet, but it's still a bet." They literally bet there was a point.
Yeah, you don't know for sure.
You could have been wrong. Maybe
maybe everyone dies.
Forgot to carry the zero. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
And a good thing, it wasn't a good thing, a lot of lies, but it ended the war and all that, right? And there's a whole bunch of stuff to it. But I'm the fact that they were willing to gamble with the world for that one moment is really crazy. So is it so far-fetched to think that there's other things going on? For good and bad?
Well, maybe, and that was it. I don't know. Maybe there was a positive motivation for the war in the Middle East, but they also had to get the American support for it. And that could be the reason.
I don't know.
Even if you give them a very charitable position that they were doing it for good and thinking sacrificing a small amount of lives for the greater good.
It's just still crazy.
It is fucking insane. I think it's all for profit though, especially
I think it's control.
If you see Dick Cheney was
I guess it's a form of control is profit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't. Although I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But when you mentioned back something with all the money, where is it going? There's a crazy. I think it was a crazy thing about if we have alien technology and all that, would we tell people what that would do? So that's why there's they can't go through the budget clearly because that would reveal things. That was a recent thing I was reading. It's that's kind of an interesting theory.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy theory, but it makes it. I can see why, though. It makes a lot of sense because it would really rock things. And then what's his name recently? Trump recently is we got technology that no one knows what it does.
Yeah.
I'm what does that mean? What do you mean no one knows what it does? With the best in the world. It's really funny. He says the funniest shit. But the way he said it, but nobody knows what it does. I'm what do you mean no one knows?
Someone knows.
Someone knows. But what do you mean behind that? What do you mean we have things that no one knows what it does?
Yeah.
I thought it was he says a lot of outlandish things too, but that was really interesting. Was there more to that? I don't know.
There's got to be subsects of the government that are working on technology that they don't put out in the public.
Well,
right?
most of the internet was developed was mostly government funded. Most of the technology is government funded, or highly amounts of it, which is fascinating. Or they'll the guy you invent that CRISPR stuff. Oh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah,
let's work together. You'll like it because you get to prolong
this huge government contract too.
Well, you need money to do most of these things, right? You need resources because so if you're dedicated to, let's say, being a geneticist and you want to enhance the human, but you just need money. Your main thing is I just need money. I don't care about anything. But you have an endless amount of that.
Yeah,
you'll do whatever is being asked because that's your passion, right? It's you're fueling.
Yeah,
if I say,
and you're giving up a portion of control too.
Right. Yeah. So I can see that being very possible. So that's why I'm oh, there's definitely some shenanigans going on with the governments where they're doing some stuff that they don't want known because of for ethical reasons or whatnot.
Yeah.
At least I think, I mean, makes sense. I don't see how it's not possible.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the stuff that's coming out. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Maybe. Do you remember when everyone was supposed to storm Area 51?
I did, yeah. That
And
was like a
5
day.
people
Yeah, what the
showing
fuck?
up.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
I know. I mean, I was supporting it. I was hoping people would get after it.
I was like, I wasn't gonna
I'm
go,
not
but
gonna show up. Yeah.
but I'm like,
Maybe that's how everyone was. We're
I'll
like,
just-
let's fucking figure it out. What's in there?
Yeah,
If
but-
we all just show up, what are they gonna do?
yeah. But what they should have done was like, now I was like,
We
why-
gonna kill everyone? I think that was the thought.
yeah, well, that's what I think the government said. Like, no, we will use lethal force. I was like, oh, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
like that. But
Maybe they use that beanbag gun, fucking start putting people down with that.
yeah. But what if all those million people all had 1 million drones and sent in 1 million drones?
Whoa. Would they just be sending shots into the sky? They
I don't
probably
know.
couldn't, right?
But that'd be
You need to
kinda-
restart that movement. Give them that idea.
Yeah.
Everyone
No,
with
I
the
don't
drone.
wanna- the guy in the blue suit with the mask. It's actually a really good idea when you think about it. Like everyone had,
Yeah.
oh fuck, that's actually a really good idea. Use a
Restart
laugh.
that movement. Yeah.
Send the drones to Area 51.
Yeah. He just comes in like a beehive. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
imagine the guy who's at the stage, he's eating his chips. He's just that, and he's like,
like,
what the fuck? That's great. Oh,
That's hilarious.
All right, we just started a movement. There we go. Good thing for the mask.
exactly. All right, brother. This mask is getting too itchy for me.
It is. That's cotton.
Yeah.
It's getting hot.
Let's wrap it up then.
Yeah.
But dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a
this
fun
was
time.
fun. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have to do it again. Maybe in your future we'll do like a mask reveal or something.
Yeah, mask reveal or just different masks.
Yeah,
That's what different masks.
We just you like work on an accent. We've got like, all right, a new person in here in the studio.
I could do that. Good times, man.
That's funny. All right.
All right, man.
Thanks, brother.
Later.